Today, we are talking about the anatomical structure of hands. What I hear a lot from many artists is about how difficult hands are to draw. People look at the hands and they just go, oh, fingers, oh my God, just don't look at them. This is an opportunity where you have to see past the fingers and you can look there instead, right? We've got the excuse because I am following my pedagogical stance. You have to think about the hand in terms of flat planes. The first plane, if you're looking at the back of the hand, is basically just right here. This is the one that's hard to spot for a lot of people because depending on what the fingers are doing, this plane may be a little bit tougher to see. But really, the whole thing about the fingers is you have to group them first. You cannot separate them at the beginning. So you think about them as a group, and then within that group, you subdivide. You really need to think about mass. You cannot have fingers if you don't have a mass. Even if you're not drawing the entire arm, you guys should draw the wrist so it's very visible. And you also want to draw at least part of the hand. Like you don't have to draw the whole thing, but definitely wrist. You are contextualizing the hand. When people fragment the figure and they just draw pieces of the figure, I think that's a problem because you're not seeing where that fragment actually lives. Like what is the environment for the hand? Where does it actually exist? Another overall concept to think about with the hand is that actually most of it is bone. You've got to prioritize those bones. Don't look at wrinkles, don't look at veins. All of that stuff is going to distract you from the stuff that's really important. The reason why people really have trouble with the human figure in general, I'm not just talking about fingers, they don't know what they're looking at. People will look at the figure and they'll just go, oh, there's a bump here, there's a bump here. But the thing is, it's really different if that bump is bone or if that bump is a fatty pad on the knee. The lower bones are called phalanges. I had this one anatomy teacher, she used to call them phalanges. It drove me crazy. I was like, what is your problem? They're very, very thin, and you can see where the phalanges bulge, where they connect, like that joint, basically. That's where you're going to see knuckles. That's where you're going to see all of these bones that are popping out. The bones that are here, the ones that are on the back of the hand, these are called metacarpals. You see the back of the hand as a plane first, and then you break it down into metacarpals. So a lot of anatomy is about subdividing, seeing the big shape first. He's got a really nice metacarpal, and it's really sticking out. Does everybody see that metacarpal? So I highlighted it in green, and you can see it is like popping out like crazy. It's awesome. I mean, I love the metacarpals for that reason. Find the line of the knuckles. Very few things on the hand are perfectly straight across. There's always like a little bit of a slight curve. Knuckles, they're your best friend. I love the knuckles. The knuckles are really almost one of the first things that I try to look at. The first knuckle, you got the second one, and you also have the third one. There's so little muscle. There's a couple spots where you get muscle, but not that much. And if you guys look at this chart, a lot of tendon. These are really the only parts that have muscle. This part of the hand is pretty substantial. I feel like this is probably one of the bigger forms. So here's the mass of the palm, and that's pretty much where you get started. Now you want to subdivide the palm. What you're looking for is this section right here. You also have this section on the side, which is wider at the bottom and thinner at the top. And you also have this big mass here. This plane in the middle, it's like a valley, okay? So like these sections are a little bit higher, and this is in the center. Is there tension in the hands? Are the hands relaxed? Because the tension is really where the bite in your drawing is going to come from. It's what's going to accentuate the skin the bones. It's going to make the knuckles really, really dramatic. I mean, you know, when you like really tense your knuckles and your knuckles turn white, that's what you're looking for, is that tension that is going on. When you're trying to make something look really tense, you got to look for when the skin stretches. Just wait until Magneto uses his power. So the second he uses it, he goes like, like this scene is particularly dramatic. You got to look for when the skin stretches. Really observe what is taut. Look for where the skin gets compressed. You'll see, like on my hands, some of these areas, the skin starts to like come together. That really shows like, okay, something is pushing up against something else. And it happens in the soft, muscly areas. Think about somebody in your life and think about their hands. Hands are like handwriting. It's almost a signature of who you are. We can talk about anatomy in bones and muscles and all that stuff, but ultimately, it's almost like you have to think about a hand as a character. I do not care about metacarpals. If you end up with a hand that looks like a mannequin, who cares about your mouth? You could have the most accurate metacarpals and phalanges, and your drawing could say nothing. The thumb, very much, it's in its own universe. It's not hanging out with the other fingers. Just like Mr. Rochester, look at him. You guys see that, like, oh my God, I just love it when he's like upset. And he's like looking into the distance, and I love his hair in this movie. Oh my God. The four fingers, they're like a click. They're totally excluding the thumb. The thumb is like so alone, and it's always left out. It's like me in high school. You guys should like cry me a river. Fingernails, they're minor, but the thing is, when they're done badly, they can really ruin your drawing. People, they outline the fingernails, and that is the kiss of death. When you guys start to outline the fingernails and you make them too prominent. If you look at this green circle that I've made, that's what a lot of people do, is they treat the fingernails as a separate shape. And what I usually do, if I want the fingernails to really look like they're in the fingers, I just de-emphasize some of the lines. So there might be some lines of the fingernail that are more prominent, some that are barely there, because usually what happens if you outline the fingernails too much, they almost look like they're collaged onto the drawing, and you need to make the fingernails feel like they're in the fingers. Don't be seduced by veins. The veins are going to trick you. Veins are on the surface. They're cosmetic. They're not inside the hand the way that the metacarpals are. You can mistake a vein for a metacarpal. Remember, no matter what's going on with the veins, they're on top of the metacarpals. They're never going to be like under the metacarpals. That would be very, very strange. The veins, I drew my little red gummy worms, and you can see they're doing all kinds of weird, funky things that have nothing to do with the metacarpals. Also, you guys want to practice veins? I know somebody else who's also a white man who's got really nice veins. Oh my God, guys. He posted this picture on his Instagram, and he's holding a laptop, and I just like collapsed. When I saw that, it was just, what a nice thing to wake up to.